This video is sponsored by Glowworm Smoothie. 100% pure blended glowworms. Delicious. Welcome to my adventure across Luxembourg. Now, I've done 2 trips to Luxembourg already, but on these trips I'm mainly focused on Luxembourg City. But on this adventure I want to explore the rest of the country because public transport is free in Luxembourg. So let's go all over the country on the transport and see what I'll find. So I arrive into Luxembourg, and before I leave the city centre, there's one lift I missed last time which I need to see. The glass shaftless ascensor public. This is a glass lift going up from the valley up to the bridge. Let's ride it. This is weird. This is weird. Oh, that's positioning. That's positioning. Look at it. That's positioning. That's just so weird. Why have you put it there of all places? Like, oh, perfect. So here I am on the upper level where there is a glass floor. So, heading out of the city centre, I get a bus along to Belle Etoile Shopping Centre, which has got some glass generic lifts.
Direkt im Sous-sol.
Oh, that's not harsh. Oh, reverses. Oh shit, it's overrun. Oh dear. And the next lift is a full proper lift, but it goes a very short distance. Wow, that's actually a good lift for a tiny distance. The leveling's a bit slower. They've got a proper lift for that. And it's also got these shaftless lifts. So let's now leave the city centre and go and explore the rest of the country. So I get on a bus along to Steinfort. And this is what this village looks like. There wasn't really anything to film here, but one thing about villages in Luxembourg, they're all very well maintained, very well kept, look perfect. But it's a bit hard to explain this, but to me they look a bit too perfect. Like everything's just a little bit too nice and lovely. That's not really my thing. I like stuff with a bit more character. So, along to the train station. And the lifts in this train station are Otis Gen 2s. Come on. Took ages to read it. Was it in English? Was it in English? So then, as the railways in Luxembourg are free to use, let's explore the railways of this country. So I get on the first train, which is a German-style RE double-deck train pushed by a locomotive. Now, with that said, I've actually surfed a lot of trains in Luxembourg on this adventure. I can't upload these to YouTube, so click the links in the description to see these surfs. So I get off this train and then get on a French TER double-deck train, then change to an old-fashioned style Luxembourg train heading south down to Dudelange. This is a small town in the south of Luxembourg. Let's take a look around. And along to a lift, which is a hydraulic Schindler Myconic B, in other words the basic version of Myconic, with D-series buttons. So then I now take a ride on a bus. And as it's now starting to get late, I now head up north to set up camp for the night. I get on the train and head along to a little village of Michelau. Here is where I hammocked for the night, and in the night I saw something I've never seen before. Little glowing specks of light flying around the woods near my hammock. These are fireflies. In England apparently these were common many years ago, but in the modern day they're now very rare and I've never seen these in England, so it really was quite a weird experience seeing glowing flying insects, which just seemed very strange to me. So then the next day I then go and explore some railway tunnels, but as YouTube seems to very intermittently sometimes not like that sort of content, had to upload this elsewhere. Click a link in the description. Then after that I then wanted to get on a bus heading further up north in the country. But oh dear, the bus broke down. So on this day public transport connections didn't seem to connect up so well, but anyway I'll get on a different bus heading up to a shopping centre at the north of Luxembourg. Which is Shopping Centre Massen, which is a posh twat centre. This is like a sort of place where people with lots of money to go to buy really expensive stuff. In Luxembourg, everything's a bit more expensive really than in other countries, but this place was particularly expensive, and I was desperately hungry at this point, so I ended up buying food here. And oh my, you do not want to know the price of food. This shopping centre's got a glass hydraulic lift. That's one thing I do not trust, fingerprint readers in lifts. And it's also got some modern generic crappy Kleeman lifts. What a utter load of rubbish. Oh my, this shit. Oh dear. I just feel so bad, these things. Anyway, anyway, I now leave this shitty shopping centre and I now got on a bus which actually ended up going a different way to where I expected it to go, and it continued up to the most northern point of Luxembourg, where there is a shopping centre right on the border. This is actually a really nice shopping centre and it looks really nice and modern. This is the proper type of posh, not posh twats farmers market stuff, but posh modern, and it's really nice. And it's got some glass Schindler Myconics with D-series buttons. These have got 4 intelligent levelling.
Oh, hi Joanne.
Then I now get on a little tiny electric bus. Seems that serving some of these remote villages, they have some very small buses. And along I go to Tripoint, which is the most northern station in Luxembourg. This railway heading up north has got 2 types of train, the German-style RE trains pulled by a loco and Belgium trains, running from Liège to Luxembourg City. So I now head to the town in the very centre of Luxembourg, which is Ettelbruck. Let's take a look around this town. But sadly I did not find any lifts here. Now it's worth noting that Luxembourg only has the one major city, which is Luxembourg City itself. The rest of the country is more kind of small towns and villages. So then I now get on a bus along to Lutzhausen, which is a little village on the Lake de la Haute Sur. So then, the reason why I went to this location is because it's got a very nice lake and is a very popular swimming spot. And on this trip to Luxembourg, it was very hot. And this lake was the perfect place to go for a swim. This area looks very nice. And to get across this lake, there is a floating bridge. So then, I then went for a swim, but the waterproof case for my action camera has broke. So sadly, I was not able to get any swimming footage. So then I now get on a bus back to Ettelbruck and I take a train south down to Merch. And let's take a look at the lifts at the train station.
Rez-de-chaussée.
And along to the car park lift.
Etage 2 is defective. No, something's wrong with it.
Then, after this, I then go up and down the railway surfing the trains. But again, YouTube does not like that sort of content, and then after that I set up my hammock for the night. And this is where I camped on this night. Turns out this wood is absolutely full of mosquitoes. Even in the short amount of time it takes just to open up the mosquito net, climb into the hammock and then shut the net again, mosquitoes have already flown inside of the hammock. So I was pretty much a prisoner in this hammock all night, just sitting here in the hammock, too scared to get out because I'd be bitten like crazy. So then the next day, along I go to a shopping centre. And this shopping centre has got classic Schindler Myconics with full intelligent levelling and intelligent overrun. The first lift is a shaftless lift, and if we take a look at the pit, They've made the lift pit look like an aquarium. That is weird. They've even painted the buffer to look like an underwater plant. Let's ride it.
Wow, sure, shaped perfectly around it. That's nice. Buttons have been replaced.
And let's take a look at the next lift, which is another classic myconic. And along to the next classic Schindler myconic. And in this extension part of the shopping centre, there are some eco discs. Then I now get on a train, and this time I head to the east of Luxembourg, along to the village of Wasserbillig, which is the water cheap village? The water village? I'm not kidding, but this is on the water at the very border of Luxembourg and Germany. Let's take a look around this village. And there is this little ferry going across the water from Luxembourg to Germany. And to head a different direction into Germany, you can cross this bridge. So here I am in Germany.
I won't be allowed in the UK. The fence is broke, being crashed into. They put up that, it's a temporary fence. Like, if it happened in the UK, right, no, that would not happen. Not without health and safety.
So then, back into Luxembourg City, and this time we're going to head a different direction. This time we're heading south. And before we get on the train, I'll go to a supermarket south of the city, which has got this nice glass lift.
Suite de sous-sol.
So then I'll get on a train heading south to Luxembourg's second city, which is Esch-sur-Alzette. This place looks very nice to look around.
A shopping centre, not a shopping centre anymore.
And I'll go to the underground car park, which has an Otis Gen 2.
one. No, I'm driving that.
There's also a lift that goes from a town to the railway station, then up to a bridge, which goes across to a park. This lift is a nice glass Schindler Eurolift. So then, let's now go and visit a Tripoint. On my previous trip to Luxembourg, I visited the Tripoint at the village of Schengen, which is the village the Schengen Agreement was named after. This was the Tripoint between Luxembourg, Germany and France. Now, on this adventure, I'm going to be visiting a different Tripoint. This time, I'm going to be visiting a Tripoint over in the west, which is the Tripoint between Luxembourg, Belgium and France. And here it is, in the middle of the brambles. This Tripoint is a bit more rough than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be slightly more touristy here than this. And the Tripoint itself is actually in the water. So to actually get to the Tripoint itself, I'd actually have to go into the water. And I wasn't sure if this water was safe to go in. However, at the closest land point you can get to the Tripoint, there is this marker. Let's go and take a look at it.
Well, it seems this Tripoint's also in water, so you can't quite get to it. In amongst the bushes, there is the Tripoint. Actually, I think we can get a bit closer to that. So, Belgium is that way, France is that way, and Luxembourg is that way. Why am I doing some shorts on? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, this is not nice to do with shorts on. I mean, like, that's a stinging little there and that's a prickle there. So stings on my legs doing this. The effort I go to get to a Tripoint. Here we go. And here it is. The actual point is in the middle of the water. So this isn't actually on the Tripoint. This is the closest point I could put the marker. But the actual one, would I like to go for a swim in that? Actually, I was back on the other side, all the brambles were. People have actually climbed down that. You can see people climb down it to go for a swim in the water to reach the actual Tripoint itself. I think a lot of people are just happy with saying they've made it by getting to here. Now, I wanted to put my hammock somewhere, so I was sleeping in two countries at the same time. Problem is, most countries have water like a lake or something on the border, so that makes that not possible. Some countries it's all trees, but have like a cut down where the trees are, so you can't really tie up a hammock that well. But maybe if there's somewhere in the world where I could tie a hammock between two countries. If you know, leave a comment in the comment section, because that's something I want to do.
So then, that is the end of the video. I guess it's a slightly different sort of adventure to normal, because normally my adventures are more focused on the lifts. However, because Luxembourg only really has the one main city, the rest of Luxembourg is very low rise, so not many lifts about. However, it was very interesting to explore Luxembourg and explore the free public transport system. And that is the end of the video.